Coding is one of the most complicated things that you could ever do as a beginner. If this, then that, else this, output that. There's literally a wall of text that you have to sift through and have to understand, otherwise the whole thing doesn't work like you want it to. Unlike in Magic the Gathering, the complexity creep just seeps in through your eyeballs and explodes your brain along with everyone in the vicinity upon cast. Now that your brain is melted, let's cool it down a bit by going back to a simpler time in Magic. All the way back to 2015, where we'll take a look at a commander that's much easier on the eyes. Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts is a 4/4 for 5 generic mana and a white and a black, with vigilance and protection from creatures. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature. Then create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. This variant of Teysa is actually my very first commander, since I was just getting into the format at the time. And of course, you never forget your first. Although before I even found this card, I had no clue where to begin. Mind you, this was before the time when it was popular to use EDH Rec or Scryfall. So I actually had to physically go through the binders that the card shop had where I was buying my cards at during this period. I did not even fully understand what this card did when I first saw it, but I just had to make it my commander no matter the cost. I mean, come on, look at it. When I started building the deck, I had a few options where I could take it. So I ended up going with the Pillar Fort route, although not your typical Pillar Fort. It wasn't so much the type where you have to pay taxes and things like that to attack me. It was more like, yeah, you can attack me, but you're gonna face the consequences. So I guess it was more of a pillow threat than a pillow fort. At that time, I had things like Light Minefield, Blood Reckoning, Hissing Miasma, and Dread. I couldn't afford No Mercy at the time, so I didn't have that in there. After a while playing through it the first few times, I kind of just ended up sitting around doing nothing, waiting for someone to attack me, because most of the time it wasn't that profitable to attack me. But then my coworker pointed out that there's a bunch of cards that I could get and put into my deck that would force my opponent to attack me. So I ended up adding Norit, Bullwhip, Nestling Imp, and Imp's Taunts, just so that something would happen instead of just me sitting around and waiting for someone to attack. This is basically the opposite of what Goad eventually became. Instead of making your opponents attack other players besides you, it makes them attack you instead. It was a pretty bad deck. Of course, I had to find ways to kind of defend myself, so I added a bunch of cards that could block multiple creatures, like Guardian of the Gateless and Divine Vanguard. Then there's also this instant that gives the same ability to block any number of creatures called Valor Made Real. It was kind of a fun defensive card, but it didn't really do anything in my hand for a really long time. And then to help those creatures survive any kind of combat that they would get into, I would have Palisade Giant to soak up all the damage. Although I don't think I added anything to allow Palisade Giant to survive any of these damage absorptions that he was doing, but for the most part it was just a one-time use lightning rod. I did also have Souls of the Faultless in there and a few other similar cards to kind of chip away at my opponent's life while I was gaining life. It was such a weird and terrible deck, but I don't know, it was such a fun idea that I just had to build it. After I dismantled the deck, it was kind of hard to find another deck with a similar feel to it. I don't know, it was unique for me. And that was when the 2021 Commander decks came out. Because when I saw Brina the Demagogue, I was like, this is it. This is the card that I've been looking for all this time. And on top of that, this is also the same deck that contains one of my favorite cards of all time, Ink Shield. It is insane. If you've never played it before, you should definitely try it out. So that's been Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. Let me know if you've ever made a Teysa deck, and which version of her is your favorite. This has been Bytes, logging out.